Hi, whether you are a CEO, business owner, or you're just someone that's living your life and you will have that moment that you feel like a roller coaster. Sometimes you feel like, wow, it's amazing. It's such like heaven. I feel so good, so happy. But some days you feel like, oh, so gloomy. Another day you feel like so down. This is not feeling well. I'm not feeling well. And everything seems being against me, that kind of feeling. And these are the emotions of us always have been controlling us. But we have a choice, is we can control the emotions or we can let our emotions control us. And the great thing about reading Bible, particularly in the Proverbs, I learned so much wisdom that it teaches me how to face each situation like that. And when I'm feeling so overwhelmed or so emotional or so down or attacked by someone, that's where I need to go to. And it gives me so much comfort, wisdom, and gives a lot of things that I can learn, and I can then have a peaceful heart and joyful heart to pray and then to find a solution how I respond to my situation. You know, life isn't about what's happening to you, it's more about how you respond to it. As this morning I was reading the Bible in Proverbs, let me read for you. Proverbs 17 verse 19. If you love to argue, then you must be in love with sin. For the one who loves to boast is only asking for trouble. So I have highlighted these words. So if you love to argue, what does argue mean? Argue means when someone says something that you don't agree, you want to argue and say, hey, I don't agree with you. I'm right, you're wrong. And argue can also be you make a choice or someone makes a choice that's different than yours, and then you don't agree what they're doing, and instead of showing understanding, you agree with the negative thoughts and you start to argue back. Hey, you're wrong. The way how you choose shouldn't be like this. You should do this way as what I do my way. And it's very common to our lives. And in fact, even for myself, I still have that problem. Sometimes when I see people who's doing really unwise things, I was always trying to fix their problem for them. But then I didn't think and didn't even ask, do you really need my help? Do you want me to fix your problem? In fact, in our life, it's not about fixing others' problems. It's more about how can we fixing our inside ourselves. And if we know how to fix ourselves and our examples, the way how we deal with things, and when we lead by example, people will come and ask us. And once people ask us opinions, ask advices, that's the time we can give and share our experience. Even though we share our experience, it doesn't mean it can be 100% helpful to that person, because everyone's life is so different. But as we all know, all the experiences are important. And we know that when we talk to someone who's much older than us, who's more senior, they have gone through all these ups and downs. They have already known what we're feeling and how we're feeling, and that's where you can turn to that person and ask for some advices. Anyway, coming back to this verse, it's telling us if you love to argue, then you must be in love with sin. This sounds really, really strange, guys. So that means if you argue, that means you love with sin. So sin is a big thing. It's like feeling like criminal stuff. Sin is more like you do something that's abnormal or not very helpful, not good at all, and bad things. I would say sin is bad things, right? So if we choose to argue, at the end of the day, we'll be suffering because it's like we'll commit a sin, which isn't good, my friend. So rather than argue, I think my personal experience and my learning is that choose to understand, because behind every statement there is a story. Behind every person there's a lot of stories. And if we choose to understand instead of to argue, our life is going to be much more peaceful. By saying so, my friend, I'm still learning. I cannot guarantee that I will never argue with someone. I might still do that. But this verse is reminding us at the first part, if you love to argue, then you must be in love with sin. We don't want to be in love with sin. So let's choose not to argue. Instead, let's choose to understand.